So a quick rundown of what I have. My table is actually magnetic. I have a metal sheet glued to it, topped with gaffer's tape, topped with resin. So I can put magnets on my table, and that holds my needles, my bobby pins that I use as stitch markers. And this is actually my camera stand that has a magnet in it because that part comes out. And there's a magnet in that hole. I swear magnets fix every problem, but it's also magneted on the bottom because my phone was too heavy and it kept falling over. So anyway, that's what will be holding my phone. A little bit of stuffing. This is what I used to stuff the ball with. Pen and paper, and that very tiny crochet hook. Several pairs of scissors because I like to throw them down and I don't know where I put them. Some thread. And I tried using this one's a 0.5 hook, and it's too big. I don't know if you can see. So I had to actually special order this. This is actually made by Clover. And there's that tiny ball that I made. I have several tiny rulers. I use them all the time. And in my table, I actually have a big ruler. So this is kind of the setup I generally have when I'm crocheting. I also have this that I got at a yarn store, measuring tape. I bought this, and it is so cute. But it rolls off my table and runs away, so I never use it. But it is adorable. Okay, so let me set up. Here is your basic sphere pattern. This right here, because it's really hard to use a stitch marker. Let's say my stitch marker falls out. In this case, I'm probably going to just use another piece of thread. And I like to keep count as I go. I know on the third row, it's one single crochet, one increase. On stitch 3, that's going to be an increase stitch. So it's going to be in the same stitch as my previous stitch. And that goes on 4, 6, 9, 12, 15, and 18. That's why I write these numbers down. I do the same thing for decreases. My fourth stitch is going to be a decrease stitch, and so forth. I've never seen anybody else do this before, so if this helps you, wonderful, because it definitely helps me. I am terrible at math. Numbers, it's like I have like a dyslexia with numbers. It just jumbles in my head. But I make notes like this, even on written patterns. I'll write these numbers down. So this is what I'm going to be following. Let's see how this goes. So if you don't know how to do a magic ring, I'll show you. You're going to wrap this around, technically twice, but it makes 3 loops on your fingers. Go under 2, and grab the third, and pull it up. Grab that third again, and pull that through, and you've started it. So we need 6. So we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So I'm going to send these start with your way, and then I'm going to pull on the tail, and it's going to shorten one of those 2 loops. So it shortened this one, and that's the one I want to pull, and it's going to pull from the bottom here. So I'm pulling up and making that other string get smaller and smaller. Whoa. And then I pull the tail to close that one. And it's going to look a little wonky at first. I say this in all my videos, and then y'all tell me y'all can't tell, but I have really dry skin. And it's literally a genetic mutation I have no control of. There's no lotion I can use to make it go away. It doesn't work that way. Just ignore it. I'm super self-conscious. Okay. Now, here's the hardest part, is getting that first stitch. And I can't even see where it is. I'm just guessing that it's right there. This first row is so hard. Okay, it looks like I'm through both. So let's do a single crochet there. 1. We'll do another one in the same spot. And that's 2. I'm going to pull it up. I'm going to set that in. Give me a minute while I find that first. Okay, I found the first one. I'm just going to pull this thread through. And this is going to be my stitch marker. Let's see. Oh, now we're all back untangled. Looks like I'm backwards. Oh no, I put it in the wrong one. Let's try that again. There's my first one. Pull it through there. Pull it down. It's really hard to do this with the camera in a way. 1 sec. Okay, I'm actually going to use a needle to grab that red. Now it's in that first one. Now we're on track. Hopefully this is all staying in focus, because I'm not looking at the camera, I'm looking at my work. Okay. I don't know if you can see these holes here that are telling me where my next stitches are. They look exactly like normal crocheting, but they're just very, very tiny. I don't know. So we got the first 2 done. Oof. can't tell if that's the next one or not. Oh, see, the next one's right there. If I can. You see that right there? That little tiny stitch? I'm in there. Someone asked, how are you holding this? I use my fingernails. That's one. Hey. And this row is the hardest row. So that's 4. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4. And really those first 2 stitches are the hardest stitches. 5. No. 7. 8. And I'm too far away, which tells me I've been working in the same stitches. So let's go back. Or I can start over. So wrap it around 3 times, grab the third, grab it again. I'm not going to count this first one because that one's always really hard to see and use, even with normal yarn. So we'll call this one 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whoa, 6. So grab your work, pull the tail, grab the one that shortened, pull from the bottom. Make sure those are all facing the right way. And then pull the tail to close it. And there's our magic ring. And it already looks better than the first one I did. But give me 1 second. Okay, I made it into the first one. Hi, Nibs. And do 1. It's good. Yeah. So our next row, 1 single crochet and 1 increase. I pulled it through the wrong way. Now we're on an increase, so 2 and 3. Should probably 4, 5, oops, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That was not right. 17 and 18. There we have that one. Oh, there. There's 88. We have. Now 2 minutes. 1, 2, 3, 3 minutes. Now we're going to do a few rows of going single crochet just around and around. Whoa. Don't go wrong. Okay. Single crochet in. Yep. So I saw a lot of y'all say that your hands would be cramping, and my hands do cramp, but I also had surgery on my hands for carpal tunnel, so it's not as bad as it used to be. I highly recommend the surgery if you have that problem. I mean, I could not crochet. I couldn't really do anything that required. I couldn't even knit. I mean, even painting was difficult. Writing. Highly recommend the surgery. It made a huge difference. And I did both hands at the same time. I know a lot of people prefer to do one and then the other, so they have one usable hand. But I mean, unless you live alone and you don't have anybody to help you do stuff in the daytime, I would do both and get it done with. Be done with it, because that takes half the time of healing out of your life. So if you don't know this, when you are doing these magic rings, and I see a lot of people say, my work is starting to cone, or it's starting to bowl. Why is it bowling? That's because you are single crocheting without increasing. So as soon as you stop increasing and you just start doing single crochet around, your work will begin to curl up and make a 3D shape. If you're increasing, it will continue to stay flat and get larger. I really hope y'all can see this because I'm not watching the camera. I try to remove anything from the background so it stays in focus, but we'll see. Okay, I'm gonna do this another couple of times and then be back. Okay, we are on the last round of single crocheting across. Okay, so there's our little ball shape. And now we're gonna start decreasing. So on this row, we're decreasing 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, and 24. So it looks like I made a decrease somewhere, probably when I was single crocheting, and that's okay. I don't stress about that because nobody notices. I just leave it. I have the correct number of stitches, so no big deal. Let me see. Now we decrease on 2, 5, 8, and 12. I wish I had micro stitch holders. And now we decrease on 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12. I'm going to put a little bit of stuffing in it because it will make it easier to hold. So now we need to put more stuffing in because this next row is our last row of decreases before I just use thread and needle to close it up. I think this one's actually slightly smaller than the other one. Oops. There we go.